Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly delighted that you joined us on today because God has a special coaching lesson just for you. Now, the purpose of Action Coaching is we take this opportunity to give you some tips. We don't have time to get in depth in every one of the things all of the time, but we supply you with suggestions and tips and pointers that will help you to achieve those things that you need to do in your life. So we are certainly excited about Action Coaching. Now, I believe that everyone in life needs a coach or a mentor, someone to just simply, not necessarily try to change you, but just to point out that different things that you will encounter towards your road to success that will help guide you and be a blessing to you. And that's why we have Action Coaching. Now, I want you to reach out and let everybody know about Action Coaching. Each and every week we come with this coaching session just to give you insight on things that I've learned, achieving what God has given me and others have learned. And I know it'll be most helpful to you. So certainly we want you to be a part of Action Coaching and let others know about Action Coaching. Now, on this week on Action Coaching, I want to talk about wrestling with self. Yeah, that's just what I said, wrestling with self. Now, a lot of people want to do a lot of things. A lot of people want to achieve great things. But you know, one of the hurdles that prevent a lot of people from achieving it is they can't get over themselves. See, if you want to venture into another area, then there's certain things from this area that you're in that you can't take with you. But there's always something in ourselves that always detour us from success and hold a lot of people back. Think about it, I know that they have a lot of different things around today. They got weight loss drugs, they got all kind of pills you can take for one thing or another. But at the end of the day, the pills and all of that is not going to solve everything. There's going to be some work you have to put in for yourself. A lot of people want to achieve something, but then they wanted to go the easy route. They wanted to snap your fingers and it happens. And I'm already there. There ain't no sense in getting mad at the person that done put the work in to achieve what they have achieved and knowing that you don't want to put the work in because you can't overcome yourself. Yourself is your number one enemy. You the one that stopped yourself from achieving anything. And until you conquer self for a greater purpose, you will no longer be able to succeed at the things you desire to achieve. So overcoming self is the first and most important thing. Now, many are saying, what do you mean by that? I'm glad you asked because I'm going to talk about some points. Now, first of all, you, within yourself, if there is a dream or a goal you want to achieve, then the first thing everybody needs before the dream and the goal is they need to know what the cost of this is. See, people want it, but when they hear the cost of it, then they don't want to pay the price. So they just push it off and say, that's not for me. You know, if you want a nice car, yeah, you can have a nice car, but you got to be willing to pay the price for a nice car. And if you get a nice car, then when it comes time for the car to be serviced and everything, you're gonna have an extra cost on it because it is a nice car. It is a unique car And so you're gonna have to spend money on it. And so the issue I'm saying is those things that you want to achieve, you got to sit down and count up the cost, first of all. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people try to count the cost when they get into it, and chances are they'll stop and they won't make it. But the people that coach correctly understand you got to count up the cost. If somebody say, well, I want to be a great rocket scientist, then, all right, let's see what the cost gonna be. You're gonna have so much education, you're gonna finish at the top of your class, you're going to pass these degrees, you're gonna get certified, you're gonna have to on and on and on, whatever the list is. Now, here is the problem. When people see the cost list, they move to something easier or something, oh, I don't want to do that. I just want something that don't cost me much. I found out in life that things that don't cost you much, they don't last. Very seldom do they last. And a lot of people want to achieve great things because they want a shortcut. They want to just take some pill, some drug that instantly, they don't have to do anything and they got what they want. It is short-lived. People that are great and doing great things are great for a reason. They're great because they were willing to pay the cost. Everybody that's not willing to pay the cost usually join the crowd of the complainers, while the person that's paid the cost that's on the way. How much you notice every day they have news story, they have different outlets. They don't talk about anybody that's not known. They don't talk about the average person on the street that's not doing anything. They're always looking for people that are achieving something, that are paid the price for it. Whether it's positive or negative, trust me, you're not on their program unless you are shaking up things. That's just the way it is. Because you are an individual that decided to pay the price to rise above the crowd. And trust me, we are living in a world where most people do not want you to rise above the crowd. The only people that want you to rise above the crowd is that you carry them along with you. They don't want to earn nothing. They don't want to do nothing. They want you to do everything, and you just carry them along with you. And they'll sit there and say, yeah, you the best man, you the best woman, and all of this, you're great, you're awesome, because they want to just ride along and not have to do anything, and in a sense, just live off your success or your achievements or whatever money you have, because they do not want to pay the cost. And that's the problem with a lot of people. That's why people need coaches, because the coaches is going to determine that if you say you want to be the best at whatever, and when they put you through some tests, some drills, some lifting weight, some study, and everything, and you don't want to participate in that, they already know you ain't willing to pay the cost. You just having a little fabrication in your mind, but when it comes time to put the work in, you are not willing to do that. See, it's far easier to walk in and stand on a platform that's already been created than it is to create your own platform. That you did it because you were willing to pay the cost. And that's what's so important in life. If you're going to achieve great things, not that you cannot achieve it, but you got to be willing to pay the cost. There's some things you're going to have to sell out to in order to achieve these things. There are places you're not going to be able to go anymore to achieve these things. There are parties and events and things you used to go to and enjoy. But because you're paying the cost for greatness, you are not going to be able to do those things. So let's talk about being willing to pay the cost. Now, number one, whatever cost you got to pay, it's going to be painful. Nobody gets anything that is better without it first experiencing pain. I don't care how you want to say it, how you want to rationalize it in your mind. You're going to have to deal with the pain first. And in essence, some pain is going to have to become your best friend. I remember I was with a guy, and then, at that particular time, we were lifting weights, and I wanted my body to be a certain way. And so, quite naturally, him being the instructor, he came and he had a program, said, okay, if you want your body to be this way, then here are the things, you're going to have to do. Now, when he said it, it looked real simple. I said in my own mind, oh man, I can do that. And we started out. And the particular weights that he would hand to me and the bands that we were pulling, didn't seem to be particularly that much weight or that stronger band. He just simply said, well, we got to do this, do 20 of these, 10 of these, 15 of these, 3 reps of this and that. And man, I was excited. I went through and I told him, man, I'm hardly sweating. I can do this all day long. So I thought. I was all right after we got through working out. I was all right pretty much the most of that day. When I laid down that night and woke up that morning, oh my God, it was so much pain. I wanted to fight the individual that took me through all this pain. Why you didn't tell me all this pain was going to take place in the first place? Because the issue is, if I want to be better, I want to do better, I got to be able to deal with the pain. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. I left off talking about how you got to deal with the pain. And most of the time, not dealing with the pain is an individual decision. We want it. We just don't want to go through to get it. We like how it looks. We like how we look with it. We just don't want to deal with the pain. But there's pain in every single achievement. And you got to be willing. You can't have nobody motivate you, try to help you out. You got to decide that this pain is necessary to get me to the next level. Number 2. Now this one might be harder than the first one I talked about with the pain. If you want to do great things, you want to climb the ladder, you want to be all that you're supposed to be, then you got to understand there's some people that's going to have to be sacrificed. Yep, there's some people, it might have been your lifelong friends, but you're going to find you can't hang out with them anymore, because if they're not as determined to go where you want to go, there are going to be problems. You ain't going to be able to hang out with the people that's always telling you, don't work out today, don't do it today, don't strive for it today, we'll pick it up tomorrow. Let's go over here and we're going to do this together. They got to be sacrificed. It's not that you hate them. It's not that you haven't had a good time with them. But there are some places you're going to go in life, not everybody is able to walk in that room with you, because they do not understand what it's going to take to be you. And if they want to be who they are, they're going to have to be willing to pay the same price, and they're going to have to be willing to have that same talk with themselves. Because it takes something, so you're going to have to sacrifice some things. You know, nobody loses weight or get their body in a particular shape continuing to eat the same things that cause you to gain the weight. Now you got to make the choice. You can continue to do whatever you want to do, or either you can decide that I got to let this go because I want something better in my life. And those are the things that you got to decide, and those are the greatest battles with yourself. You got to get yourself so under control that you are the one. You don't need no alarm clock to wake up. You automatically up. You don't need nobody to talk to you 30, 40 minutes to get you to do what you're supposed to do. You got to be willing and committed to yourself that I'm going to do this. Rain, shine, sleet or snow, cold, hot, whatever, I made a commitment to myself that I'm going to do this. And this is why it is so important. So there are things that have to be sacrificed if you want to climb to the next level. I've talked to a lot of people, and it seems like when they leave, they well motivated, ready to go. But I also have saw that they may be motivated and ready to go, but as soon as they get away from the motivation talk, they self take over, and they self say, "Ah, don't take all of that. I don't have to do all those things." Well, if it didn't take all of that, why even be talking to somebody? Why even come to do it? You done already made up your mind, then just do what yourself is telling you to do. But that's not the way it works. You got to win that battle with yourself. Now, how do we win the battle with ourselves? Everybody, the one thing you need, yourself need, is goals and objectives. The only way you're going to bring yourself under control is the self got to have vision. There are reasons, there are rules around. You know, most people wouldn't be at work on time if it wasn't no rule they had to be on time. Now I know that now there are jobs where people don't have to go in at a particular time, but however, the work that you do and the things that you got to do got to be at such a level that they're not making you adhere to just saying be there at 8 o'clock. But however, those systems are put in place because they had to give people goals and objectives, things that they can achieve, things that'll be necessary to overcome self. Now, the thing that I have come to understand is self don't have a goal and objective, it will not pay attention to detail. Gotta have a plan. I'm gonna do this, this, and this these days, or Friday's the only day I got off, but all my other days are scheduled. I gotta have habits that are consistent with where I'm gonna go, because if you do not have those habits, then your old self will take over and bring you right back into the same rut that you're in. But the purpose is to overcome your old self and achieve great things. Because I'm here to let you know that's the greatest enemy you have. And a lot of us have experienced it. When we just about to do great things, that inner self will tell you, oh, don't take all of that. Just take the day off. Just relax. You can start tomorrow. And that's the very time you miss that open door for you. That's the very time you'll be pushed through. That's the very time that you're so close to where you want to be that you miss it. And how terrible is that, to be that close and miss it? You know, you have people that they won't stay consistent at something unless you tell them 100 times. They don't want to succeed. They don't want to achieve great things. When you have to remind somebody to come to work and be on time at a job they need, they got problems. They got problems with themselves. If they keep talking about they want to achieve good things and not win the battle over themselves, they're never going to make it. It's just like people saying they want a nice, large home. They don't even like to clean up. Or they don't have the wherewithal to have someone to come in and do it. That's because they can't overcome themselves. So you give yourself goals and objectives. Everybody in life should have goals and a purpose that they want to achieve. When you see people on stage and winning all these awards, I can assure you, they didn't win that award because they had time to hang around with all their friends that wanted them to do something different. They won that award because they overcome that inner self and said, this is what we're going to do, and this is what we're going to achieve, and this is how we're going to operate. Now I want you to know, success is a lonely road. But the benefit of the achievements is something only you can enjoy and appreciate, because you know what you had to do to get to the place that you are now. And certainly you want to rejoice in that, because the major thing is you strive so hard to reach one level, but there's another level waiting on you and another level after that. So you have to get the victory over yourself. It's two yous that start out. The self that don't want to do the work, and the self that do want to do the work. There are two people wrestling in everybody's mind at the same time. It's just a matter of which one you're going to listen to, which one is going to be the main driver of where you intend to go, which one is going to take you to the place you so desire. So like I said in this coaching session, that's the first enemy you got to come over. And I learned something in life. There are no excuses. When you do it, to yourself. There was a dream I wanted to achieve. There are places I had to stop going. There are people I had to let go. Not that I love them or anything, but simply they will be a hindrance to where I needed to go. There are conversations I could no longer have because I had to focus on where I wanted to go. You can have a crowd when you achieve success, but trust me, you ain't gonna have no crowd while you're trying to achieve it. Lonely is the road that leadeth up the mountain. Yes, when you get on the mountain, you can see various things, but right now, while you're doing it, you're gonna be all by yourself. So take these sessions of action coaching on today and apply them to your life and watch you get a victory over yourself so that the real you can come forth. I'll be right back to talk to you. Certainly, we thank God for you being a part of Action Coaching on today. I want you to reach out to me and let me know maybe you want me to dig deeper into self. Get some more tips, some more information, some things that you can apply. Reach out to me and let me know, and we'll take 2 or 3 sessions to deal with that. We want to hear from you. Hit like and subscribe so that you can be in tune to every time Action Coaching is coming on and you can be a part of it. And also, I want to encourage you on today. I want you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. Yes, Action Coaching wants to expand, get bigger and better, do more creative things. We got goals too, but we need your financial support. So we want you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering on today. Some can sow 50, 25, 100, 200, or even more to Action Coaching. And we believe that God will richly bless you for the seed that you've sown on today. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow unto Action Coaching. And I want you to know I deeply appreciate you helping me carry out the vision that God has given us. And I know that the Lord is going to do the same for you. So once again, sow that seed on today. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow unto Action Coaching. Thank you for your support of Action Coaching, and I know God's richest blessings are going to be yours. As I do each and every week, I want to encourage you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.